Kylian Mbappé is currently the black crow haunting Real Madrid. This black crow label sounds like something that should only exist in superstitious tales or harmless teasing. But now it is returning to haunt him. Mbappé is becoming an annoying shadow at Real Madrid, where every match is not just 90 minutes on the pitch, but also a harsh trial by public opinion. Every detail is dissected, every moment is exaggerated, and every mistake can be used to convict a superstar who was once celebrated as the symbol of the future of world football. No one thought the story of Kylian Mbappé at Real Madrid could turn in this direction. When he arrived at the Bernabéu, there was no talk of doubt or dissonance, and no room for negative labels. All that existed was hope, the light, and vision of a new era where Real Madrid would continue to dominate with a young, fast, and explosive locomotive. But football is never a linear story, and the higher the peak, the easier it is for things to reverse. After a string of unsatisfactory results, including Real Madrid's 3-match winless streak, a defeat to Mallorca, and a draw against Girona, these are not just stumbling blocks in a long season. They're like cracks appearing in walls, once thought to be solid. What makes those cracks even scarier is that they appeared as soon as Kylian Mbappé returned to the first team after his injury. Prior to that, during his absence, Real Madrid delivered an almost perfect performance, creating the feeling that the team had found its balance and could operate smoothly without the services of the French superstar. But since Mbappé's return, everything has slipped out of orbit. Victories and stability have vanished. This has led to heated debates and emotional conclusions. Is Kylian Mbappé the cause? In football, coincidence sometimes carries more weight than logic. People tend to look for connections between events even if they don't necessarily exist. Real Madrid played well when Mbappé was absent and slumped when he returned. For many, this is easy evidence. Since then, the Black Crow nickname was born as a way of simplifying a complex issue, as if by removing one element, everything would return to normal. But if football were that simple, it wouldn't be the most popular sport on the planet. The match against Girona is a prime example of that complexity. Looking at Mbappé's statistics, the Frenchman did not play badly in the traditional sense. 53 touches, 5 shots, 23 successful take-ons, and a 91% passing accuracy rate. These numbers show he is heavily involved in the game, even serving as the focal point for many attacks. However, football is not just a game of individual numbers. It is a combination of efficiency and timing. In the most critical moments, Mbappé lacked the necessary clinical edge, missing clear-cut opportunities. He only completed 4 out of 9 dribbles, lost possession 20 times, and won only 4 out of 17 duels. These stats tell a story of a player feeling lost, trying to find his place in a system that doesn't quite suit him yet. Real Madrid has been built on balance and organization for years, where every individual, no matter how great, must fit into the structure. But Mbappé is a player born to break structures with his pace and moments of genius. When such a player joins, the system must adapt. The problem is that Real Madrid hasn't truly done that yet. They haven't built the game entirely around Mbappé, nor have they retained the fluidity of the old system. As a result, the team looks halfway between identities, becoming inefficient in its operation. The lack of chemistry is evident in every play. Teammates cannot find each other naturally, passes become hesitant, and combinations fail. When chances are created but not converted, the biggest star becomes the focus of all eyes. It's not because he is the worst player, but because he is the most expected. Top-tier football is harsh. Glory and criticism go hand in hand. A player can be a hero today and a sinner tomorrow. There is a paradox at Real Madrid. The more Mbappé is involved in the general play, the less effective the team becomes. He touches the ball more and attempts more take-ons, but also loses the ball more and sometimes slows down the attack. This doesn't mean he is a bad player. It just shows he hasn't found an optimal way to fit in. This is a tactical problem for Real Madrid as much as it is for Mbappé. A world-class player doesn't become useless overnight. The issue lies in how the team exploits and maximizes his strengths without losing general balance. In football, results are the ultimate measure. When Real Madrid doesn't win, the Black Crow title becomes an emotional response for fans to release their frustrations by finding a scapegoat. In fairness, Real Madrid has many problems from finishing and midfield connectivity to defensive solidity. None of this can be solved by blaming one individual. Mbappé is not the only reason, but he is a piece of a bigger picture that doesn't quite fit yet. This is a gamble Real Madrid was ready to take, but if the project fails, Mbappé will certainly be the scapegoat. History shows it takes time to integrate a new superstar. However, with a star like Mbappé, the team often ends up changing to accommodate him, rather than him changing his play for the collective. That is not how a strong collective operates. That is how a team collapses. The upcoming UEFA Champions League match against Bayern Munich will be a turning point. An explosive performance or a decisive goal could sweep away all criticism and restore his hero status. Conversely, if Real Madrid continues to lose and Mbappé remains ineffective, the Black Crow label will no longer be a joke. It could become a permanent scar on his career. The answer will be revealed in those 90 minutes against Bayern Munich. Football is cruel, where the line between glory and failure is separated by a single moment. Mbappé is standing on that line right now. On one side is immense pressure and suspicion. On the other is the opportunity to prove his worth. The final answer won't be found in social media arguments, but on the grass, decided by goals and Mbappé's own feet. He has the greatest opportunity to rewrite his story and prove he is the solution for Real Madrid, not the cause of their failure. Until then, Mbappé needs to change. He needs to defend more, press more, and integrate further with his teammates. He must disprove the claims of some journalists who suggest he is walking to save himself for the 2026 World Cup. If a player does not give his all for a club like Real Madrid, the entire project is destined for failure.